I know you don't believe that I can beat Brock.
I don't believe in fairy tales.
You never believed in me. Well, you hear that? Those people do.
One of the biggest what ifs in WWE has been, in my opinion, what if Finn Balor never got injured. Finn Balor won the first ever Universal title, but during that match against Seth Rollins, he got his shoulder dislocated, I guess a torn labrum, and the next night on Raw he had to give up his title, starting the curse of the Universal Championship. That's for another video. But ever since Finn Balor had to give up the Universal title, he has never been able to reach the same heights, which begs us the question: did Vince McMahon ever believe in Finn Balor? Let's get started. Look, I personally think, and I think you all will agree when I say this, Finn Balor is one of the best wrestlers in the world today. But the way he has been operated on the main roster has always had my head scratching. I mean, Vince McMahon has always seen Finn Balor as the mid-card guy at best. Even when he became the first ever Universal Champion, I don't think he would have got a longer reign as champion. He might have lost it in the next pay-per-view itself, probably to a guy like Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. And then that push would have been gone. So him getting injured and running with the storyline that he never lost the title in the first place was actually fine, and it was good to see WWE acknowledge that, because as we know, WWE forgets this stuff, but the fans watching the product don't. Coming back to Finn Balor, throughout his main roster run, he has been a babyface, a smiling babyface, always showing his teeth in victory and in defeat, just similar to how Raquel Rodriguez is smiling these days. Now in comparison, look at his NXT run. He was one of the longest reigning NXT champions in history, and that run was so good. With his demon character, he has an impeccable record, and ironically he won the Universal title with the demon character, and the fans absolutely loved it. But did WWE, or should I be more specific, did Vince McMahon tap into that success? Nope, he did not. Even when The Fiend debuted, one of the first victims of The Fiend was Finn Balor, and when I saw that happening, I was legit excited, because The Fiend was one of the most refreshing characters in modern WWE, and Finn Balor was one of the best in the industry, and he had an alter ego, the Demon. So immediately we started looking at the future. When will The Fiend versus the Demon happen? But did Vince McMahon book this properly enough? No, he did not. And why? Because Vince McMahon doesn't believe in Finn Balor. He doesn't see him as a big main event player. I mean, this is the same Finn Balor who carried NXT on his back for a long time. He created the famous Bullet Club in New Japan and has achieved just about everything this business has to offer. And still, Vince McMahon doesn't see Finn Balor as a main event player. Even when Finn Balor returned to NXT, he returned as a heel. The Prince had such an amazing run in NXT. Finally, the smiling babyface was gone. The NXT run was so crucial for Finn Balor, because when he returned back to main roster, he returned as a babyface, which was obviously disappointing to see, but at least he was not the same Finn Balor we had seen before. He was not the same smiling character. That was a positive. But ever since he returned back from his second NXT stint, he never turned heel. Although he won the US title, that reign didn't last long, and he dropped it to Austin Theory. So what does this mean? Finn Balor has been given a role to put over younger talent these days, and that absolutely sucks. Finn Balor getting that role just annoyed a lot of fans, which includes me as well. And now, it is now that he has turned heel on the main roster, and he is the leader of the Judgment Day. But ever since Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley turned on their former leader, Edge, and Finn Balor has taken the spot of the leader of the Judgment Day. Where have they been? Rhea Ripley concussed herself and she got injured. Damien Priest and Finn Balor, they are still active. They are not injured, but they haven't been seen on Raw for a lot of weeks. I mean, since they kicked Edge from their faction, they haven't been seen. And they have been wrestling on main event. I mean, who watches main event these days? And this is pretty clear for me. WWE has seemingly dropped the ball with the Judgment Day, and it's so disappointing to see. There is so much they can do with this, and we can see a new side of Finn Balor leading a faction, leading a heel faction. He has done this in the past with the Bullet Club, with the Balor Club. He has done this in the past, and WWE can tap into that and create magic with the Judgment Day, believe me. But will Vince McMahon ever try to do that? No, he will not. And why? Because Vince McMahon never believed in Finn Balor. That's the video. Vince McMahon never believed in Finn Balor, and as usual, like this video, share this video to your Finn Balor fans, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you guys in the next one.